Today I'm going to talk about psychology and why it can either make you or break you. So, so there's a fascinating story I come across recently, and it really got me thinking about how basically two people can have the exact same experience, but it affects one guy dramatically different than the other guy in a dramatically more positive way. So back in the day, there was a mining incident, the Beaconsfield mine, I think it was, and basically two miners were stuck in this mine. They had to get them out for whatever reason. Now, when you go through a experience like that gets a lot of media attention all over the world. I think this thing happened back in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. So quite some time ago, right? And I come across a story recently how it was catching up with them like all these years later. And it showed one guy's lifestyle compared to the other guy's lifestyle. And they relayed their experiences of the whole situation. And it was quite fascinating to me because one guy's whole interpretation of the experience was vastly different than the other guy's. When a dramatic event like that happens, it gets a global media attention, and so both these guys make it out and they get the $1 million contracts to go and tell their story all over the world. And funny side note, actually, at the time I was doing, I remember my drama teacher at the time this was going on, he told us exactly what was going to happen. He was talking about how everything is about the drama. And he said, mark my words, when these guys make it out of the mine, they're going to go all on these interviews, and the producer of these shows is going to zoom. They're going to ask them tough questions to make them get emotional and start crying. And they're going to zoom right in on their face as they're crying and they're telling their story. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. I sat down and watched exactly how my drama teacher was telling me what was going to happen. Because I was watching these interviews and the breakdown crying, and they're out zooming the camera in because it's drama and drama sells. So both these guys, they're in this mine, right? The thing caves in or whatever, and they get stuck there. I think some guys got out, and they survived. They got out early. But these two guys were stuck in there, and they had to basically drill back in to get them out. And this thing was creating a lot of media attention at the time. It was going global. It's just on the news all the time. And so they make it out, right? And of course, they have multi-million-dollar offers to go and tell their story, to go on the talk shows all over the world and tell their story. And they should have been set up for retirement for sure, easily. They should never have to work a day again for the rest of their life if they play their cards right. Now, there is a very important thing, and this. What I take away from this story is how you interpret things and how your psychology plays a massive part on the life you have and how you interpret situations. So two people can have a dramatic experience, and one person can use it to better their life, and another person, it just weighs them down. It just weighs them down, right? So it's also when people talk. It's also when people talk about their bad childhood is what makes them successful or whatever. It's it can't just be that, because a lot of people have bad childhoods and they just go on to be losers, right? And I've always thought about that. My childhood is definitely not good for the most part, but it's a lot of people have shit childhoods and they just become losers. So obviously it's not a catalyst. There has to be other ingredients. And I think a lot of it is just psychology and intelligence to process things differently, I guess. So these guys get out right, and exactly what happens. They're doing the talk shows, making millions of dollars, and they caught up with these guys decades later. And one guy's experience is overwhelmingly positive, right? In the sense that he's yeah, it was great. I felt like a mini celebrity. He was yeah, it was great at the time. He said he felt like a little bit of a celebrity. and it was just a cool thing. He got to set himself up for retirement. He invested in a couple of businesses. He works one day of the week, and the rest of the day he's just fishing and having a good time. And it was just vastly different than the other guy. When they went and interviewed the other guy, it is just 100% negative. He talks about the media like they couldn't stop hounding him, and he felt obligated to just always be subservient to the media, and the media just kept hounding him and turning on him and whatever. And it was just, he obviously did not invest his money right, or maybe made some bad choices with his finances. But it was vastly different, man. And that goes to show everything is psychology, man. It's how you interpret it and how you navigate the waters. And it makes me think about so I think there's a massive lesson in life in that sense, where shit is going to happen to you, man. Like, everything will be going right, and just bad things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. It's not going to be perfect. And it's almost like in life, man, something negative is always going to go wrong, and you have to expect that, anticipate that, so you can navigate accordingly when it goes wrong. So you don't get all emotional and make a bad situation worse, which is another thing, because it's like, never say never, man, because never say it can never get worse, because it can always get worse, man. I don't want to get too personal in here, but definitely in my own life, where I thought I hit rock bottom. Then you get the jackhammer out and you keep drilling and drilling and drilling, and you find a new rock bottom, man. So anyway, so I thought that story was interesting, and I want to share. The whole purpose of these videos is a little note for myself. I want to try and treat these audio recordings as a notepad for my own thoughts and ideas and stuff I think about. But that's definitely such a great, powerful lesson in that, man. Yeah. So understand, it's like your psychology is sometimes not your friend. You might have some bad programming. Yeah, so look, psychology is absolutely everything.